Are you thinking about moving your family to the South Shore of Boston? Maybe you have a little bit of anxiety over picking the right education system for your children. If you've heard that Metro Boston area cares about their kids' education, you are correct. And it's really easy to feel a lot of pressure over these decisions, but you really don't have to. And I will break it down for you in this video. There are private school options, there are great public school options, and there's even a couple alternative schools around here. In this video, I'll be giving you a bit of an overview of the education possibilities on the South Shore. And specifically, I'll dive into some of the best public school districts around here. I hope you enjoy. Hey, I'm Katie Norton, and I'm a realtor in Massachusetts. This channel is all about living in the South Shore. So if you're thinking about moving to the South Shore or any of the surrounding areas of Boston, give me a call. I'd love to help. So without further ado, let's jump into what you will need to know about your children's education options. So you might be thinking that if you live on the South Shore, there's a lot of focus on the beach lifestyle, and you may not be thinking that there's a lot of focus on the education. But you couldn't be further from the truth. We care so much about our children's education here in Boston, and some of these programs are nationally ranked. So let's start from the beginning. The first decision you're going to have to make is whether you send your kids to private school or public school in the town that you've moved to. So the reason you should listen to me about this is because I have done both. So when my kids were little, we lived in Hingham, and I sent them to Hingham Public Schools for their elementary school. Then we moved to Cohasset, and we had Charlie, and so we sent them to the Cohasset Public Schools. And then when it was time for middle school and high school, if you follow along, you know that I sent my kids to Boston College High School. For us, it was a legacy decision, so it was an easy one. We didn't really have to think too much about it. So really, this is such a personal choice for each family. And I actually have a video on just specific about all the different private schools that surround the South Shore towns. But for this video, let's just talk about the unlimited amount of incredible opportunities to participate in the public school education on the South Shore. So there are 6 ranked schools in the top 50 in Massachusetts that are located right here on the South Shore. So let's start with Duxbury. It's ranked number 20 for best overall school districts in Massachusetts. But if you go a little deeper, you'll find out that it's ranked number 9 in the United States for best school districts amongst athletes, and it's actually number 1 in Massachusetts for best school districts among athletes. So this is a perfect example of if you value certain things in a school district, and so in this case it would be athletics, you may go out of your way because you would like your son or daughter to be part of this particular school in Duxbury. So just in terms of size, the thing about Duxbury is you have 1 elementary school. It's broken up into 2 buildings by grade. So the K through 3 kids go to one building, and the 4th and 5th graders go to the other building. And then in 6th grade, they go up to middle school, and then in 9th grade, they go to the high school. So the next school district that I want to highlight is the Milton School District, and that is ranked number 26 in the entire state. The makeup of the Milton school system is 4 separate elementary schools that all feed into 1 middle school that starts in 6th grade, and then that goes up to the brand new high school, which starts in 9th grade. And I have a little bit of extra experience in Milton because both of my nieces went to the public elementary schools and to the middle school. So if you need any extra info on that, I've got it for you. So the great thing about Milton, if you or your spouse is working in the city and you need easy access to the commute, but you also want the best education for your children, I highly recommend Milton as an option. The commute is going to be less than 30 minutes into the city, in and out, and the Milton school system is just incredible. Let's go a little further south and go to Hingham, which is actually ranked 29th in the state. The makeup of the Hingham school system is similar to Milton. It's got 4 elementary schools that feed into 1 middle school, and then that feeds into a new high school. And that is one thing I love about Hingham. All of the elementary schools have just been recently updated in the past 20 years. So when I was living there in 2003 and I was sending my son to school in 2005, he went to a brand new elementary school called South Elementary. And every couple years they have renovated the East Elementary School, then they did the Plymouth River, and now they're doing foster, or actually vice versa. I think they did foster first, and now they're doing Plymouth River. Anyways, the point is your tax dollars are going to work for the public education in Hingham. You will really understand when you move to Hingham why the Hingham school system is ranked 29th in the entire state. And let me just point out, we are talking about 29 out of 400 school districts. So it's pretty high up there. So for all those moms and dads out there that need a little extra help for their kids, I found that Hingham was an incredible option when it came to an IEP, which is an independent education program. And those teachers really worked with us when one of our sons needed extra help outside of the classroom. I found that to be excellent. So if you need any more information about the IEPs in Hingham, as wonderful as the whole school system is, I did think that that really changed my feelings for the school and how much I really adored that school system. So let's move on to Norwell, which is ranked 32nd out of 400 in the state. First of all, the breakdown is 2 elementary schools, and they lead into the middle school, and then they feed into the high school. So similar throughout all the towns. It just depends on how large the population of the town is, and that's how many elementary schools are assigned to each town. So the thing about Norwell that I love so much is it's just like that childhood that you think about from growing up, what we experienced as children. So if you're looking to give your kids a super high quality education and give them that throwback to when you were growing up, what it was like to be in elementary school, I would say Norwell is a great option for you without sacrificing any of the education that Greater Boston has to offer. So now let's go a little bit further south down to Scituate, which is ranked 45th in the entire state. And the great thing about Scituate, it's a little larger than Norwell. It's got 3 elementary schools that feed into the 1 middle school and then up to the high school. And one of the great things that I think about Scituate is if you are trying to figure out how to combine a summertime living with a real life, school year, Scituate is going to be the way to go. You have all the beaches, all the access. So if you get some of those early summer days in May, you'll find half the elementary school heading out to the beach after school on any given early, spring day, and right through September, to be honest. The one thing that I'll say about Scituate is I didn't raise my family there, but I have a bunch of friends who have raised their family down there in Scituate. And, it really does give that small town childhood elementary school feel where everybody knows each other. But the good thing is it is a little bit larger. So you're doing your 3 elementary schools and then you lead into 1 middle school. For most of the kids, these are all new friends that they're going to get to meet in middle school and then on to high school. So I think it's that good balance between small town and large town. It's kind of right there in the middle. Here's the thing about Scituate. If your dream has always been to live in a beach town, but now you're thinking, no, I have a family, I have to send my kids to the best school system there is, well, guess what? You can get the best of both worlds in Scituate. You can live your beach town lifestyle and still send your kids to one of the best public schools in the state. And I know that the education is not compromised at all in Scituate. It is very well-run program, and it still gives you access to those beach nights, so you get the best of both worlds. So last and certainly not least is Cohasset. Cohasset is ranked 47 out of 400 in school districts in Massachusetts. If you follow along on any of my videos, you know that I sent my kids here to Cohasset. The way that the school is made up is you have 1 elementary school, but it's broken up into 2 buildings. So you spend your pre-K to grade 2 in 1 building, and then when the kids get a little older, they go over to the other building. We call it the grown-up building, and they get to go from 3 to 5 in that building. I like the way it breaks it up because we're able to focus on the younger version, the younger kids in the 1 building, and all of the teachers and all of the aides and everyone that help out in that building are all super focused on those young kids. Then when you get up into 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, you're a little bit older, a little bit more mature. There's a little bit more expected out of you. So it's nice to go up to a different building and have that version. And then so on and so forth. You go to the middle school, and then the high school is actually connected to the middle school. So if you have multiple children and you're worried about driving kids all over the place, once they get up to 6th grade, it's 6 through 12 in the same school. So the drop off is the same. And that was pretty convenient when my kids went there. And the thing is, about Cohasset, again, I go back to that. You can have the best of both worlds. This is truly a beach town, and it's made up of people that want to live in this town and want to send their kids to this public school. So there is a lot of support around the public school system in Cohasset, even though it's a smaller town. But you've got that individualized attention for each of the kids. So it was a really special place to send the kids to. So if you're thinking about moving to the South Shore, please give me a call. Listen, I tried to cover everything in this one video, but the truth is this is a very personalized decision. Each school district is going to have its quirks, and the best thing for you and your family is to talk to an expert like me who's lived here, experienced all the different school systems, have friends that go to the different school systems, because I'll be able to match up what's truly important to you. And that way we can find that right home for you based on the school system that you're looking to send your family to. Before I let you go, I'm going to give you one more fun fact. So this is according to the Trustees, the oldest land conservation nonprofit of its kind. We have a lot of different land conservations down here on the South Shore, and the Trustees is one of them. Their advice is always excellent, but they say that they've walked through data recently that children who grow up with nature and regular access to green space and natural environments show measurable lower rates of depression and anxiety, and they develop stronger executive cognition for focused decision making and problem solving. So living on the South Shore matters. And so if you want more information about that or anything else to do with the South Shore, I'm Katie Norton. I'm a realtor here on the South Shore, and I would love to connect and help you find your next home. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.